Greetings YouTube. Today we're looking at a Firebird knife. This is from Gonzo. There we go. And this is the FH11-GB, which stands for green, I think. Get it out of the way. So the first thing you're going to notice, it has a lovely dark green handle, and I really liked that that color. So that was one of the things that attracted to me, besides the blade shape and the fact that I have had ridiculously good luck with the quality on Gonzo and Firebird knives. So I definitely was like, okay, I'll try one of these straight out of the blind test. I didn't even look up any reviews on this. I just bought it because it was a good price. I think it was 20 bucks. And I like their knives. So the first thing you're going to notice, this is a pure flipper. There is no other mechanism for opening it. It has a single position tip up pocket clip. I kind of think that every knife should have two positions, but that's just me. And I prefer a tip up carry. So if you don't, that may be a downside for you. So the first thing you're going to do is let's flip it out. And it comes out smooth as silk. Right out of the box. Absolute silky smooth deployment. This thing is a joy to play with. You're going to notice right off the bat, it is a full flat grind with a secondary bevel here. I consider a full flat grind to be the best choice, unless you can get yourself a really good quality convex grind, which is a little more complex. But a flat grind like this is really nice. It has a nice little swedge on top. You'll notice that. And it's stout till about the last quarter, and then you get that taper towards the tip, which I think gives a lot of strength. I consider this a solid medium duty knife. It's not heavy duty, but it's very usable. It has a little bit of jimping here. It's not overly aggressive, and that is the only metal jimping on this. There is a little bit of here on this little partial spacer here. Now, one of the things you'll notice that there actually is a place for a lanyard that is the post here. It's a blind post. You can't actually see the post from the outside, and it's just a cutout. So it's completely hidden, which I think is a really nice feature. Another nice feature I like about this knife is that they actually inset the liners into the scales. So you can't see the liners from the outside. They didn't need to do that. And this is, like I said, a $20 knife. That's a nice touch. It gives it a clean look, and it's a level of detail that I've actually not seen in knives that cost 2 to 3 times as much. A lot of other knives I own, you'll just see the liner with the scales laying flat on top of the liners. The liners are not skeletonized, but the life, because this is G10, the whole overall knife is not heavy. Liner lock, you got a solid lockup, no movement in either direction. You get a full half lock on there, and there's a little ball bearing in there for detent when it is closed. Star drive, Torx pivot pins, which I have not had to touch because, again, out of the box, silky smooth, no adjustment required. A good pocket clip strength. It is not too tight, it is not too loose. It works really well on a pair of standard jeans. Comes on and off, yet it stays in place when you don't want it to move. And relatively deep, so not much of this knife is showing. You're only going to see like from here up. And it's dark green, so if you're concerned about being overly noticeable, it's fairly subtle. One of the things I'm hoping you can see that. There you go. You can see that there's a hollow on these G10 scales, and that hollow is not. First of all, it's very pleasing to the touch, but it also means that when you're opening and closing it, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, your fingers just fall into that hollow. And it's very comfortable. It gives you a nice secure grip without any kind of aggressive nature on your fingers, because the scales themselves are relatively smooth. They're not overly textured, which I also appreciate. There's a little Firebird logo right there. Anything else I'm forgetting on this? I like the, it's not perfect symmetry, because this is not a perfect point as opposed to this one, which comes to an even point, but I like the symmetry between the ends, this straight look, and when you have the blade deployed, you've got that clean line from tip all the way down. I find this knife very aesthetically pleasing, fast deploy, easy close, and because it's a flipper and you have this, the flipper bit right there, when you close it, it goes like there, stays in place, and when it comes to, let's get it out a little bit so we can show you how much retention there is. There you go. So it holds it in place really securely. I can't say enough about this knife. This is just a great deal. It's incredible quality. There's a lot of details into this that they didn't have to do. They didn't have to make a hidden lanyard hole that was of this quality. They didn't have to inset the liners, and they did. Again, this is a level of quality that I have not seen on some knives that cost 2 to 3 times as much. I don't think I've ever been disappointed with a Firebird knife. They just do a good job. So this has been the FH11 from Firebird. I highly recommend this, and if you can, actually, sorry, it wasn't 20 bucks, it was 27. I apologize, 27 bucks. It's worth the price, and I don't think you would be disappointed to buy one. I think it's available in another color. I'm not positive. I bought the green one because it wasn't black. I got enough black knives. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I think that you will enjoy the knife if you choose to buy one.